Siddhartha, a young man in ancient India, felt a deep yearning within him. This yearning was not just a fleeting desire, but a profound and insatiable thirst that consumed his every thought and action. He sought the true meaning of life, a quest that took him beyond the ordinary pursuits of his peers. While others were content with the mundane, Siddhartha's heart and mind were set on uncovering the deeper truths of existence. He wanted to understand the self and achieve enlightenment. This was not a simple task, but a journey that required immense dedication, introspection, and a willingness to confront the unknown. His heart longed for knowledge beyond the scriptures. Siddhartha yearned for experience, for he believed that true wisdom could not be found in books alone. He wanted to live the teachings, to feel them in his bones and breathe them in with every breath. He was not content with a life of rituals and routines. The repetitive nature of traditional practices left him feeling empty and unfulfilled. He craved something more, something that resonated with the core of his being. He felt a pull toward a different path. This path was not well trodden, and it was fraught with uncertainties and challenges. Yet, Siddhartha knew that it was the only way to quench his thirst for knowledge. It was a path of self-discovery and spiritual awakening, a journey that would take him through the highs and lows of human experience, testing his resolve and expanding his consciousness. His journey was about to begin. With a heart full of hope and a mind brimming with questions, Siddhartha set out on a quest that would change his life forever. Siddhartha's journey was not just about finding answers. It was about the process of seeking, the act of questioning, and the courage to face the unknown. It was about asking the right questions. Questions that would lead him to deeper understanding and greater wisdom. He knew that the answers he sought were not simple or straightforward, but he was prepared to delve into the complexities of life. He was ready to challenge conventions, to break free from the chains of societal expectations and explore the vast landscape of his own mind and spirit. He wanted to experience life in all its complexities to find true enlightenment. This meant immersing himself in the world, engaging with diverse perspectives, and embracing the full spectrum of human emotions and experiences. Only then, he believed, could he truly understand the essence of life and achieve the enlightenment he so deeply desired. Siddhartha, along with his loyal friend Govinda, embarked on a quest for wisdom. They were driven by an insatiable thirst for knowledge and a deep yearning to understand the mysteries of life. Their journey was not just a physical one, but a profound spiritual odyssey that would test their resolve and reshape their destinies. They sought guidance from the revered samanas, ascetics who lived a life of strict discipline and denial. These wise men had renounced all worldly pleasures and comforts, dedicating themselves entirely to the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment. The samanas believed that true wisdom could only be attained through rigorous self-discipline and the complete renunciation of material desires. Siddhartha was eager to learn their ways. He observed the samanas with keen interest, absorbing their teachings and practices. He was fascinated by their ability to endure extreme hardships and their unwavering commitment to their spiritual path. The samanas lived a life of poverty and meditation. They resided in simple huts, far removed from the distractions of the material world. Their days were spent in deep meditation, seeking to transcend the limitations of the physical body and connect with the divine. They believed that by denying the body, they could free the mind. Through fasting, meditation, and other ascetic practices, they sought to purify their souls and attain a higher state of consciousness. The samanas taught that true enlightenment could only be achieved by overcoming the desires and temptations of the flesh. Siddhartha embraced their practices with fervor. He immersed himself in their teachings, pushing his body and mind to the limits. He fasted for days, meditated for hours, and subjected himself to various forms of self-denial, all in the hope of achieving spiritual enlightenment. He sought to silence his desires and achieve enlightenment through sheer willpower. Siddhartha believed that by mastering his physical urges and controlling his thoughts, he could transcend the limitations of the human condition and attain a state of perfect peace and understanding. Years passed, and Siddhartha excelled in the samanas practices. His dedication and perseverance paid off, as he became one of the most accomplished practitioners among the ascetics. He could meditate deeper and control his body like few others, demonstrating an extraordinary level of discipline and spiritual insight. He could meditate deeper and control his body like few others. Siddhartha's mastery of the ascetic practices was unparalleled, and he gained the respect and admiration of his fellow seekers. However, despite his achievements, he felt that something was still missing. However, a nagging doubt lingered in his heart. Despite his success in mastering the ascetic practices, Siddhartha began to question whether self-denial alone could lead to true enlightenment. He wondered if there was more to the spiritual journey than simply renouncing the physical world. He started to question if self-denial was the only path to enlightenment. Siddhartha's doubts grew stronger, and he realized that he needed to explore other paths and seek new experiences to find the answers he was looking for. His journey was far from over, and he was determined to continue his quest for wisdom and understanding. Siddhartha learned valuable lessons from the samanas. He observed their dedication and their unwavering commitment to the path of self-denial. Day after day, he watched them meditate for hours, seeking to transcend the physical world and reach a higher state of consciousness. He learned the power of discipline and the importance of quieting the mind. Through rigorous practice, he discovered how to still his thoughts and find moments of profound peace. The serene environment of the forest and the gentle flow of the river became his sanctuary, a place where he could delve deep into his inner self. He could control his thoughts and desires. The teachings of the samanas enabled him to master his impulses and detach from worldly distractions. He felt a sense of accomplishment in his ability to remain focused and centered, even in the face of temptation. But something was missing. Despite his achievements, Siddhartha felt a growing emptiness within him. The more he suppressed his desires, the more he realized that he was merely avoiding the deeper questions of his existence. The path of self-denial, though enlightening in many ways, seemed to lead to a dead end. The path of self-denial seemed to lead to a dead end. He began to question whether true enlightenment could be achieved through such extreme measures. The fire that once burned brightly within him now flickered weakly, casting long shadows of doubt and uncertainty. He realized that true enlightenment could not be attained by simply suppressing his desires. It was not enough to just control his thoughts and emotions. He needed to understand them. He needed to confront the very essence of his being and seek answers to the questions that haunted him. It had to come from understanding them. Siddhartha began to see that enlightenment was not about escaping the world, but about embracing it fully. He needed to explore the depths of his soul and find harmony within himself. Siddhartha realized that the samanas, despite their wisdom, had not achieved true enlightenment. They were still bound by their own set of rules and beliefs. Their path, though noble, was limited by their rigid adherence to ascetic practices. They were still bound by their own set of rules and beliefs. Siddhartha saw that their rituals and disciplines, while valuable, were not the ultimate answer. They were still searching, just as he was. He decided to leave the samanas and continue his journey on his own terms. With a heart full of determination and a mind open to new possibilities, Siddhartha set out to discover his own path to enlightenment. He knew that the journey ahead would be challenging, but he was ready to face it with courage and an unwavering spirit. Word reached Siddhartha of a renowned teacher named Gautama, the Buddha. People called him the Enlightened One. Curious, Siddhartha and Govinda set out to hear his teachings. They found Gautama in a grove, sharing his wisdom with a large gathering. His presence radiated peace and enlightenment. Siddhartha listened intently to Gautama's Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, teachings that promised a way out of suffering. Gautama's words resonated deeply with Siddhartha. He saw the wisdom in the Buddha's teachings, but a part of him remained unconvinced. Siddhartha realized that simply following someone else's path, even the Buddha's, would not lead him to his own enlightenment. Siddhartha approached Gautama with respect and expressed his gratitude for the teachings. However, he also confessed his doubts. He believed that true enlightenment could not be taught, but had to be experienced personally. Gautama, with a knowing smile, acknowledged Siddhartha's thoughts. He recognized the young man's yearning for a unique path. The Buddha told Siddhartha to follow his own inner voice. He encouraged him to trust his own journey. With a mix of gratitude and determination, Siddhartha decided to part ways with Gautama and Govinda. He knew he had to find his own path to enlightenment. He was ready to face the world and learn from his own experiences.